we're joined from Washington, D.C. by the U.S. State Department's Principal Deputy Spokesperson, Vedant Patel. Mr. Patel, thank you for your time. Firstly, U.S. officials have said many times since Saturday that they want to de-escalate tensions. So what is your message to Israel as the War Cabinet meets for the fifth time since Saturday's attack to consider their response to Iran's retaliatory attack?
Our message is that Israel is ultimately going to make its own decisions, but that the United States defense of Israel and our commitment to Israel's security is ironclad and unwavering. Simultaneously, we're continuing to engage with Israeli officials as well as regional partners in the region about the importance of de-escalation and the United States being committed to not entering an all-out conflict with the Iranian regime.
When you say that your defense of Israel is ironclad, do you think that Israel is going to respond? How do you think Israel is going to respond?
I'm not going to get into security or military assessments from up here, and ultimately that is for our Israeli partners to speak to on any kind of operation that they are going to undertake. That's not something that the United States is going to participate in. But as you saw over the course of this weekend, our commitment to Israel's security and our commitment to their self-defense is unwavering. And it's also important to take a step back and remember that we condemn in the strongest terms this reckless and irresponsible attack by the Iranian regime.
Okay, reckless and irresponsible, but Iran says that it was responding to a deadly attack on its consulate in Damascus 2 weeks ago. It says that it goes against the UN Charter, against the Vienna Convention. Does Iran not have a point?
Well, I'm pretty sure that unleashing more than 300 drones, ballistic missiles, and other kinds of dangerous projectile assets are also violations, and they are also deeply, deeply irresponsible and reckless.
Okay, but what about the about the attack?
It's totally not on the level.
On the level of what? What about the the initial attack, Iran bombing another country's consulate in a foreign country?
So the United States is still making an assessment on the status of this facility. I don't have any update to offer as it relates to that. But again, the sheer number of ballistic missiles and drones that Iran unleashed on Israel is totally irresponsible and reckless. Simultaneously, Israel has every right to conduct counter-terrorist operations and security operations that are in their self-defense and that are in their interest.
Okay. When you say that you are speaking to allies in the region about de-escalating tensions, how have they responded to you?
I think that there is a convergence between our allies and partners in taking every step possible to make sure that tensions are not escalated in the region. That has been the case since October 7th as we continue to engage with regional partners. But just this past weekend, Secretary Blinken spoke to the foreign ministers in Egypt, in Saudi Arabia, in Jordan, in Turkey, all conveying the same message that we're very interested in ensuring that tensions don't get out of hand, that our commitment to defending Israel is unwavering.
Okay,
and we'll continue to echo those calls while continuing to engage with Israeli officials.
Right, but is Israel hearing those calls?
We will continue to engage with Israeli officials and stress the importance of de-escalation, but they are also a sovereign country, and they will make their own security decisions as it relates to operations that they conduct. These are not operations that the United States is going to be participating in, but our commitment to their self-defense and our commitment to their security is unwavering.
In terms of Gaza, Mr. Patel, how confident is the U.S. of achieving any kind of a meaningful ceasefire there?
Well, we're continuing to push for one that is coupled with the immediate release of all hostages, one that can be coupled with an massive influx of humanitarian aid. That continues to be something that we think will be very critical to the region and critical to long-term peace and stability for the Israeli people and the Palestinian people. You saw the president was very clear and direct about this in his call with Prime Minister Netanyahu last week as well.
And yet, they don't seem to be going anywhere so far. How are the ceasefire talks going?
Well, I think it's important to, I would actually disagree with that premise. When it comes to humanitarian aid, there have been steps that have been taken, not nearly enough, but there have been welcome steps in the positive direction when it comes to the influx of humanitarian aid into Gaza. That's something that we're going to continue to pursue aggressively. We've raised it with Israeli officials dating back to October 7th, and we'll continue to raise it. Simultaneously, we'll also continue to engage appropriately with regional partners on the need to do everything we can to make sure that all the hostages can come home, because we think that these two things can help create the conditions for a ceasefire.
All right, that is the U.S. State Department's principal deputy spokesperson, Vedant Patel, joining us live from Washington, D.C. Thank you for your time.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.